So now we're going to get into AEO, which is the new way of getting found on the internet without paying for ads.
We talk a lot about the changing landscape of marketing, and I feel like there have been some huge spikes in how things work. Digital came online, huge spike. The next big spike was social media. And now we're clearly in the AI spike. And I've seen a lot of executives, founders, etc., ignore these things because it's unknown and it might feel a little scary. Let's start out with what happened before AEO.
Everyone has heard of search engine optimization. And if you haven't, you've probably been living under a rock. Like everybody, even the customer, knows about search engine optimization. You search for one thing and now you're getting targeted by every single thing that's out there because they know what you're looking for. The only way you can get found is if your website has the right content that Google will point back at. When someone is looking for a spa in Draper, they will come to your spa because that's the location. And
there are entire agencies that had made a living on SEO because Google and the search engines will change the algorithm. So they change the rules entirely. And so you still have to pay that agency again to make sure you have all the right meta tags and keywords on the back end to make sure you're getting seen.
If we were to hit the high points of what SEO did, you were blogging, you were using keywords, you were doing backlinks. There's all sorts of things that make it so that you are trustworthy in cyberspace. Those are the highlights of what SEO is, and the evolution has been steep. If you were talking about SEO back in 2010, it would be short blog posts with some links and doing it often. Then it evolved to longer blog posts with some links, doing it less often.
And why is that?
It's just the way the searching or way Google's algorithm works. They don't want you to think that you're spamming it. In the very beginning, it was word stuffing. How many of the word massage can I get into one post? Then Google would, in the algorithm, go, these guys are trustworthy on massage. Then when AI showed up, it was so easy to create content. The SEO side was, well, if it's not long enough, it's garbage. So these short posts never worked. And then you needed longer posts because then it was more this trust factor. What's happened in the last 12 months is where things have really changed. Several years ago, ChatGPT came out, right?
Sure.
In the coming year, the level of people doing search engine questions is going down, and now they're going straight to AI and asking the question that they would to a search engine. They call it answer engine optimization, or you can call it AI optimization, or
AEO,
whatever you want to call it. You have to go through this process of making sure that your content can be easily read by AI, not Google. That's a huge shift. And Google's even trying to catch up. They are way behind all of these AI engines. You have to take your websites and all of your content that's online and make it so that it can answer questions that AI would answer so that it can get your information and then think you are trustworthy.
How does volume play into that?
This is the funny part. I told you this before. It was like, 15 years ago, it was all about like short posts doing a lot. Now it's back to short posts doing a lot. Before it was, you got to do meta tags with pictures and make it all pretty and make it so someone can read it. This is not about someone reading your blog post. This is about AI reading your blog post.
Right.
So pictures don't matter anymore. Links don't matter as much, but still have some trust factors. But honestly, if I were telling you exactly how I do it right this second and it could evolve, I'm posting 3 times a day with an AEO blog post on my website.
I'm a founder. I'm pulled in 50 different directions.
Absolutely.
How do I play this game?
So this is going to be something where you're going to have to dive in to understand how to do it, but you can automate it.
Explain how I would automate that.
I don't know that the founders that would be watching this would make a whole lot of sense, but basically you're using tools and AI at the same time and educating it on what you're trying to do, and then AI is creating the post, and then the tools will push it into your website. And then you have the AI grabbing the topics that it's going to be writing on and then continually doing it, and then you can schedule it. In this case, let's say every 8 hours a new post is going up. And this is really important because right now, this is the time when you can get ahead of all the really big companies, because the really big companies aren't freaking doing this.
Why not? Because they're too slow? Because
they're just slow. They don't get it. They're not trying it. They're probably just continuing to post to blogs. The problem is the type of posts that people were doing before was all about a word. Now this is all about answering a question. So you're going in and saying, why would you want a massage? What could an esthetician do to your face that would cause a problem? You're answering questions that the AI would be answering for other people.
So that requires founders and brands to understand their customers even
Yes.
more, or inviting all these questions,
Yeah.
getting an answer, and then putting that in a lot of places.
This is where it really gets interesting. And this could be an entire course. Like right now, we're just saying, just understand AEO is important
Right.
and why you need to be doing it. But things like having anchor pages that are telling more about you, having an FAQ page that has 100 FAQs. This sounds like obscene, but you have 100 FAQs on a page that no one's ever going to read except for AI. It's simple. It answers the question. It's not complicated at all.
So if I have 2 questions about a particular brand and I go into ChatGPT, let's say,
Okay.
I'm going to get the 2 answers from your brand given to me. Someone else might have 3 other questions. So neither of us is going and scrolling through. We're
Because
getting
the AI
exactly
don't.
what we need.
Yeah, because the AI is going out and calling it back or already understands it. They're not really going out like a search engine would and pulling it back.
Sure.
They're just giving you the answer versus the page the answer is on.
And the beauty of this is the answers that are coming from ChatGPT or any of the large language models feels not like an ad, even
Yes.
though it essentially will be an ad. Because if I ask, what are the benefit of getting new tires? Or when do I need new tires? And I get an answer from Big O, put a quarter in the tread and figure out all these things. And the source on that is Big O. Guess where I'm going?
You're going to go to Big O. And
Right.
I can imagine that AI is going to start making money just like Google. It's going to evolve quickly. And this is why if you can get out in front of this, you're going to own a space. You're going to own something when you're small because you're going out there and you're posting a crap ton of this stuff. And it's quality. It has to have question answer that people care about. And that's where you're going to evolve really quickly. What I can suggest for anyone who's looking into trying to market their company without buying ads, or maybe they're just scared to death to make a video or whatever it may be, this is where you're going to start. Get on your website. Go ask ChatGPT, how do I do AEO? Start putting your website in there. What's my problem with my AEO strategy? I can tell you what it is if I'm looking at it, but like I'm not looking at your company right now as a consultant. But you can use ChatGPT or any of the LLMs to go through and say, let's just start with this. Start with a short blog posting. Now, when I say short, 500 to 600 words, and it needs to be over 500 so that they'll index.
What do you mean by index?
They get crawled by the search engine or the AI.
Okay.
So that they're going through and saying, this is a valid page that they can look at. And there's a whole bunch of different tips and tricks that you need to make sure you're doing, but we can't get into all of those details right now. We'll likely in our paid course do a full long module on AEO. We all know we need to do blog posts. But the problem is now the blog post looks different. Blog post literally is question answer. And it's 500 words, 600 words. Whereas I bet you your blog posts have been 1,500 to 2,000 words. It's not like SEO is going away, but SEO is going to be much less important in the near future because AEO is going to take over for it.
Here's the beauty of all this. I have friends who are content creators for a living. They have told me that the use of AI, it's sort of this circular thing where you're using AI to help your AEO to help AI find you.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
What I've heard from them is they're a little bit more senior. They have fewer junior staffers cranking out the blogs. They have AI. They feed in what they want the blog to say. It spits it back out. They edit it in their voice, in their company's voice. They can have AI do a lot of that labor.
100%. This is where you can automate this stuff. You can pay someone to do the automation for you. You can find people that can help you use Upwork, Fiverr, whatever it is. The most important thing to take out of this conversation is SEO. It is important. However, you're not doing AEO and you need to start doing that immediately.